No, Senator Hunt, you're recognized to speak.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, Nebraskans, and good morning, colleagues. I was reading over the agenda a couple days ago, and this bill came up as a flag for me, not because I'm an expert in, law or whether something's gross negligence or gross wanton negligence, which I was Googling with curiosity and interest just 10 minutes ago. But because of the pattern of chipping away at consumer protections in this country, and how can you look at the bigger picture of what's happening right now in the United States of America and think it's a good idea for anybody at the state and local level to continue chipping away at consumer protections when we know that we're getting to a point where at the state and local level that's going to be the backstop that we have to protect consumers. What worries me is seeing victims left without recourse, having their personal data stolen, medical records, passwords, and having no ability to hold the company responsible. I think it's plausible that there will be more security challenges and more security breaches in the future, and that the risk of corporate negligence is going to go up as time goes by because we are more reliant on tech, we're more reliant on any kind of data-driven technology than we ever have been in the past, and that's not going to go the other way. And it's going to always be a really easy target for bad actors who want to exploit the most valuable thing that any of us have, which is our data. All these services we get that are free or low cost, you are the product, colleagues, that your data is the product, and that's why it's so valuable and so important to protect. And this push to weaken accountability for corporations, no one's saying corporations are evil or bad. Could say that, but I haven't heard anybody say that on the floor in the legislature today. It's not that corporations are evil and bad, Senator Sorrentino, it's that they need to have accountability. And this push to weaken accountability for corporations isn't just happening in Nebraska. It's part of a broader national effort to roll back consumer rights. We should all be concerned that at the federal level, lawmakers are attempting to shut down the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the CFPB. That's the agency that's responsible for protecting Americans from predatory financial practices, from fraud, from data abuse. Since 2010, when it was formed, they've held major banks and corporations accountable for fraud and for breaches of data, like what is contemplated in LB241. And now corporate interests are working at the federal level and apparently too at the state level to dismantle consumer protections and make it harder for ordinary people to fight back when they're harmed. And LB241 is Nebraska's version of that same corporate giveaway, making it easier for companies to neglect cybersecurity without fear of consequences. Anytime we make it harder for citizens to take legal action, to have their rights, their data, their information protected, what we're really doing is putting a tax on those consumers and saying, yeah, we can enforce the law for you if you can afford an attorney, if you can hire the right person to defend you in court. So to me, that's not really an acceptable remedy. What we should do is punish the bad actors in big tech and these corporations that are not protecting consumer data. We shouldn't punish the consumers by making them pay to have the law enforced for them. If we weaken the liability of corporations when it comes to data breaches, what we're doing is we're eliminating the incentives for companies to take cybersecurity seriously. And our job, the government's job, and our job as stewards of that work is to protect the people, to stand up for the people, to make it easier for them to defend themselves, not to provide a legal shield for corporations that fail to safeguard user data. We need to be strengthening consumer protections, not gutting them. Thank you, Mr. President.